In competitive gaming, a lot like its counterpart in competitive sports, people will do almost anything to get better at their respective game or sport. From studying the best, to endless hours of scrimmaging, buying the best gear that money offers, and even cheating and abusing substances. When the genre is dominated by meta, any little thing that you do can make a big difference. I'm urnotjustin, and today I'm going to talk to you about a physical aim hack that's been used for the past 10 years on console games and even Counter-Strike. I'm going to discuss how it's done, what you get from it, and whether or not it could be considered cheating. In the last 3 to 4 years, you've probably seen this image somewhere on the internet. While this person is playing Overwatch, this image can date back even further back to Counter-Strike. The theme in both images is that there is a magnifying glass taped to the monitor, with the goal of the crosshair being zoomed in to ultimately give an advantage and make aiming easier. It could even be dated back to Counter-Strike Source, where people would put a blue tack on their monitor. And to bring the conversation forward to the present day, nearly 20 years after Counter-Strike Source came out, some players are still doing this, as shown here in these two TikToks. Essentially in these two clips, what you're seeing is a makeshift crosshair being put onto somebody's monitor, and since the game is Counter-Strike, where there are no crosshairs on the sniper rifles, this person now has his own crosshair on a game where snipers do not have them, and can at his own disposal hip fire and aim down the sight with greater accuracy, because he has a crosshair. In present-day gaming, on games like Overwatch and Valorant, using any third-party softwares is strictly prohibited, and will result in an immediate ban, no matter what the third-party software is, cheating or otherwise. The reason for this is to make sure that all players are playing on an equal playing field. And what makes a simple task like putting tape on your monitor so fascinating is that there is absolutely no way that this can be detected. The technology simply doesn't exist for an anti-cheat to detect if you have put something on your monitor or not. And even before Counter-Strike Source, on several games that were popular on console like Battlefield, some players have experimented with this. And while generally not talked about and widely covered, searching for this phenomenon will bring you to forums where most likely people will be arguing about whether this is cheating or not. In a public online gaming setting, there will never be an answer as to whether or not this is cheating or not cheating. And since no anti-cheat will ever be able to know, the only answer you can get as to whether or not using tape is cheating or not is if you're viewing or competing in a LAN tournament, where using tape may be prohibited, almost making the strategy of tape become arbitrary. It should come as no surprise that despite a physical crosshair being as simple as applying tape, that there are actually quite a few monitor crosshairs that are sold, giving several options as to how you would like to apply a third-party crosshair for your monitor. As we've previously seen, your options are tape, a USB laser, and stick-on crosshairs, again with the sole purpose of enhancing your aim and making a crosshair present on weapons that otherwise don't have one. And to move forward with the conversation, how does this affect Valorant? In Valorant, there isn't snipers like there are in Counter-Strike. As well, when you aim down the sight in Valorant, although you don't get to keep your crosshair, you're given a small red dot in substitution. And upon seeing the TikTok clips, my first instinct was trying to find a way where I could take advantage of a weapon's spray control, which led me to putting tape on my monitor in the hopes of being able to aim with the Odin better. While obviously a weapon like the Odin is a little bit scrubbier, and trying to use a physical third-party crosshair on a weapon like the Odin isn't really saying much due to the sheer amount of ammunition that you're given with the rate that it fires, and it already having nearly perfect accuracy at the height of its fire rate. This was pretty interesting to do nonetheless, and then it got me thinking, what if I put tape on my monitor, and I put a crosshair directly over where my crosshair would be otherwise, and then turned off the crosshair in-game? How would that alter my gameplay? And the results were very interesting. As you might have guessed, it works just as good as the crosshairs that are in the game. And while I wasn't too concerned with my sniper accuracy, this absolutely gives you an edge when you're aiming down the sight with the sniper. As far as I know, the best I've ever done in a game of Deathmatch is coming in about 8th or 7th place. And while on Valorant, I am a strictly casual player, as I've said before, there's never a bad reason to optimize your gameplay, and there's no reason at all to not try new things. Let's observe how I improve with the makeshift crosshair.
Weak. The angel's dead. Amateur. Too late. Got you. Nerd.
10 kills remaining.
Dusted. Too late. Worthless. Hell yeah, let's go again.
Incredibly enough, I was able to come in 2nd place for the first time ever while playing Deathmatch. I generally do poorly in them. So for me to have turned off my crosshair and given myself my own on my monitor and see this kind of improvement was a little bit wild to me. There was a particularly nasty clip, which is here.
Too late.
Without context, I look like a cheater. And that brings us to our final topic, which is how ethical is this in gaming? While the core balancing strategy of most game development companies is as simple as even playing field, it's really hard for me to make a call on whether or not this is an even playing field or not. In Counter-Strike, if you're sniping, this could be incredibly huge. If you're using the operator in Valorant, this can be incredibly huge. However, the point remains is that you would have to buy an operator, rendering a third-party crosshair nearly pointless for the remainder of the round. But being able to have a potentially better and more accurate sight, especially on a weapon like the operator that doesn't have a crosshair, isn't necessarily fair either. But is a player that's playing on the newest NVIDIA graphics card, who's playing against a player who's playing on a laptop, cheating? Scenario-wise, this matters, but in a casual online competitive setting, no, it doesn't. I make these videos on these topics to learn about them for myself and be able to share it with my viewers. And by me passing the question off to you as to whether or not you think that this is ethical and fair in gaming, I'll be able to learn what you think, as well as potentially new insight. So do let me know your thoughts in the comment section about using a third-party crosshair. If you learned anything or enjoyed this video at all, please leave a like and subscribe if you're new. It helps me out a lot. As always, I'm Justin, and you're not. I'll see you in the next video.